With classes and objects, we may want to use pointers to access data and methods. This is useful for code speed optimizations and reduced memory usage. The same pointer notation we used for variables may also be used for objects. So let's look at an example. Let's create a class student where we want to track students' grades. So class student, curly braces, end it with a semicolon, and there's a number of public variables, public elements, int score, string course, and car grade. I'm going to define a constructor for student, int score, and string course. I'm going to assign class variable score equals score and course equals string, course equals course. I will define a function to calculate the grade, so to convert from a number to a letter. Calculate grade. It's going to be this function. So for simplicity, if score is above 90, grade assigned would be an A, 80B, 70C, 60D, 50F. Otherwise, it's an X. So that's my class. And I will now go ahead and define a object student Elizabeth. So this has been the standard way we've been defining an object. I'm going to pass in some variables, 89 for their score and chemistry for their course. So this is a standard way we've been defining objects. If we want to define an object as a pointer to another object, we would use student asterisk Margaret as our new object pointer that's going to point to ampersand, so the address of Elizabeth. So that's how we define an object pointer. Let's say we wanted to access members of the object. So to access members of the object, for a standard object, we'd use dot notation. So for example, if we wanted to access Elizabeth dot calculate grade, we would just use this notation. But for a pointer, we need to use an arrow notation, also called a member access specifier notation. So we call our pointer object Margaret. We don't use a dot, we use this dash arrow, and we can also call calculate grade and print that. So we can print the value for Elizabeth. We can do the same with our pointer. And if we run that, we can see that we could access the grade of Elizabeth as well as our pointer object Margaret. This arrow notation is also the same notation we use when we want to access a variable itself. So if I wanted to access the score, because that is a public variable, I would use the same notation, score, and we can get the score, 89.